Alrighty boys, what is going on? My name is Garen Belma. How y'all doing today? So, a couple of things before we kind of get into the main topic of this video. First of all, I wanted to say Merry Christmas. Christmas is a couple days away. For me right now, 2 days, but it's like an hour from midnight. So, 1 day, 2 days, it doesn't really matter, but just want to say Merry Christmas. This is going to be my last video before Christmas, so I wanted to make sure I say that so you guys know I'm wishing you the best holidays. Another thing is that I wanted to say that I've been gone for, I think, almost 2 weeks now. Big reason for that is Warframe 1999 came out. Like, it was just like a massive, like, clusterfuck of games coming out. Like Path of Exile 2 came out, Marvel Rivals came out, and this is like around the same time that Season 2 for the first Descendant came out, so I've been kind of divoting my time a little bit there. And then Warframe 1999 came out. If you guys don't follow my community posts, you'll know that I've been playing a lot of Warframe recently, and I've been on the fucking grind, guys. I've been on the grind. I've farmed like 4 prime warframes, a couple prime weapons, and I've also been doing like the 1999 stuff, trying to get my bounty reputation up, and also I'm trying to romance Letty, you know what I mean, boys. Anyway, so in today's video I wanted to talk about Season 2 of the first Descendant. Now, it's been out for 2-ish weeks now, and I want to kind of give you guys my thoughts and opinions about the Season 2 update. Now, I know that we're not fully there yet. We still have another big update that's going to be coming. That's going to be adding Innis. It's going to be adding a new Void Intercept battle, the Void Abyss. I think is it adding a new weapon? I don't think it's adding a new weapon. It's adding a lot more content that we didn't get in the initial Season 2 update. Now, excuse me, it wouldn't be a Garen Belmont video if I didn't burp. Now, I want to say one thing right off the bat. I think this update was far superior than anything that Season 1 did, even like by the time Season 1 was over. I think Season 2 so far has been really, really good. Now, there are some pain points, and these are things I want to bring up, and these are actually things I believe the developers have already fixed in some way, shape, or form. But we'll kind of get into that. But either way, I think so far Season 2 has actually been really, really good. So let's talk about my biggest issues with this, because I think we kind of need to just clear the air a little bit with that one. First of all, I want to talk about grind. Now, I think one big problem the first Descendant has is that there's no real like easy grinds in the game to give players that dopamine hit, you know what I mean? So for like a new player coming into the first Ascendant for the first time, I feel like making them, grind just about as much as a veteran player who's playing at like the highest levels, for them to try out and experiment with new new Descendants. It's just kind of really annoying, and I think the developers need to do a better job at giving access to a lot more Descendants for new players to try out. But also, I don't think everything in this game really needs to be this super long and just tedious grind, because I feel like that's what it is for the Fellow as well as Keelan. Now, I want to talk about the Fellow real quick. The puppy or the dog or the sheepdog, whatever you want to call it, I'm not really a big fan of how grindy they made it. And the reason why I'm not a big fan of how grindy they made it is because, first of all, they made it so that the new Void Vessel dungeon actually carries both the Keelan pieces and the Fellow pieces. Now, before they made the changes, I'm pretty sure they made the changes already. I don't know. I haven't been keeping track of everything because of me playing Warframe. But because they made it so that these two things that people want come from the same area, it makes it so that people have to consistently and continuously farm Void Vessel. And after a while, doing Void Vessel gets really fucking boring. I do like what they did with Void Vessel, and I do actually like the dungeon, but when you make it so that people have to farm this shit on repeat, it's really fucking annoying. Now, I don't mind the grind if the developers made it so that maybe the fellow pieces came from different places, or maybe the Keelan pieces came from different places. But the fact that they made it so that both of these things that people want come from the exact same area, as well as the materials used, and the materials needed for the fellow are just completely out fucking rageous. Because you're only getting you only get 6 keys when you finish the dungeon, and so you go in there, you open up the boxes, and then you're just kind of done. It's honestly really annoying, to be honest with you, more than anything, and it just made it so that, honestly, I haven't even farmed my fellow yet, just because, like I said, I got distracted, but just because I just wasn't having fun. I wasn't having fun farming Void Vessel on repeat consistently. It was really annoying. It was just not fun. It was not enjoyable. And this is something and this is kind of like the issue that we had almost with Haley. Well, this also includes Keelan as well. But this is the same issue that we had with Haley, where the developers made it so that it was super grindy to farm Haley from invasion missions. I think you only got like 1, 2, at max 3 of her pieces, and you needed 26 total in order to kind of like finish her out. 26 of each piece, by the way. And so it feels like the developers didn't really learn their lesson there, where people don't. Now, I will say it's nice that Void Vessel, you can run it as many times as you want, compared to invasion missions where you had to do 4 and then you had to wait till the next day. You had to do 4, wait till the next day. At least this time around, they made it so that you can farm Void Vessel just as much as you want. But before we got the update that kind of like fixed that, or fix the containers at the end of the dungeon, before that, it was completely random on whether you would get the Keelan pieces or the fellow pieces. And so if you were someone who finished your fellow and you were trying to farm Keelan, it was really fucking annoying, making it so that it was RNG. Like, am I crazy here thinking how badly designed that is? Now, I'm not trying to get too angry and I'm not trying to get too mad, because it's the holiday season. And I also think that, for what it's worth, the developers had been doing a good job at communicating and listening to player feedback on the issues. But at a certain point, you kind of ask yourself, are the developers doing this on purpose in order to make themselves look better and look good, and to make it seem like they're actually listening to the community when they fix these things? I'm not saying they are, but you just kind of have to wonder, because it feels like we're making the same mistakes, only in a completely different season. But that's really honestly the biggest annoyance of Season 2 that I had. Now, of course, this is something that they already addressed, and they already kind of started working on that, with making it so that you get both Keelan and the fellow pieces in the container at the end of the dungeon. Now, another annoying thing, and I did not experience this because I bought Ultimate Sharon, but they also made it so that you had to run Biolab like 27 times in order to get the material you needed to craft Ultimate Sharon. I don't know what they're thinking with this. I don't know why the developers are so insistent on making it so that you have to farm content like a shit ton of fucking times on repeat in order to get one specific thing from the dungeon. And usually they'll make it so that it's the item at the end of the dungeon. So you have to pretty much run the entire dungeon instead of just going through like the first couple of packs, killing, the mini boss or whatever, the elite mob, and getting the material there. Instead, you have to go all the way to the end of the dungeon and kill the final boss. It's so annoying. And then on top of that, they also made it so that the new shotgun, hammer, and anvil also uses that same material. So if you wanted to also craft the shotgun, you would have to run Biolab another 12 times. This is something that they addressed, and this is something that they fixed. But why did it launch in that state? Is there no understanding of the fact that players don't want to sit there and farm the same piece of content like 27 times plus another 12-ish times, however much time it takes to do hammer and anvil. It just, I'm starting to get a little skeptical here, and I'm not fully there yet, but I'm starting to get a little skeptical on on the developers and the way they're implementing this content and what they perceive as fun to the community and what they think that we as the player base want to do. Now, there are some people out there that probably don't mind running 27 dungeons in order to get the pieces for Ultimate Sharon, but there are a lot of people that don't want to do that. Why is that? Because it's fucking boring. It's boring. Biolab's not even a dungeon people do all that often. So why make it so we have to run it 27 times? I'm just saying it's really annoying, but again, it's something that they did address in a live stream and something that they did fix, I believe. But other than that, honestly, this, even though I've been pretty negative, I still think that this season has so far been really, really good. And the fact that this is only like half the content that we're getting, and we're still getting more content in January, I think that's such a good thing. I think this is a great step forward for seasonal content in the first Descendant, and I think it's a great way to really entice new players coming into the game, as well as returning players who might have quit once they hit hard mode, and get them to come back to the game. Now, of course, for us veteran players who've been playing since the launch of the first Descendant, to us, we're gonna run through this content within like the first 2-3 weeks of the game being out. But for a new player has so much content to go through right now, and it's only growing. You know what I mean? We still don't have the weapon core system that we're getting in the second update. We still don't have Innis. We still don't have the other Void, the other really hard mode Void Intercept battle. I forget what they're called. We still don't have the Void Abyss. You know what I mean? We're still getting so much more content in the game, and the fact that the developers are starting to add cosmetics that you can earn just by playing the game. The fact that they're actually listening to us when we said, hey, we want to see more legendary skins, more ultimate skins in the battle pass. Quit giving us these shitty skins for these weapons we don't even use. Give us ones for things like Thunder Cage or Fallen Hope or Viper. No, Python. I keep doing that. Give us skins for Python. They even gave us a skin for Vestigial Organ, which I know a lot of Glade players are going to really like. And I'm happy that they're listening to us, but at the same time, I really hope that I'm mistaken, and that they're not just they're not adding inconveniences in the first big update just to make themselves look good later on when they do decide to change things. But overall, Season 2 has been great. I've been enjoying Ultimate Sharon. The fact that Sharon just in general has gotten a lot of love this season, it feels like Season of the Sharon. She has her Battle Supply Shop skins. She has a new premium skin. She also has her ultimate skin. She's now an Ultimate Descendant. It really feels like it really does feel like Season of Sharon, and I'm really happy that they're showing her a lot of love this season, because since the launch of the game prior to Season 2, she just wasn't getting a whole lot of love, whether it be in the form of skins, whether it just be her performance, and she feels really, really good right now. I've been playing a lot of Ambush Sharon, which is really, really fun. I'm just going around spamming my the Shock Nuts ability, and it's so much fun. It's really, really fun. It's been really enjoyable. But overall, guys, I wanted to say that Season 2 is great. It's been great. All of the quality of life improvements, all of the bug fixes, all of the content that they've so far added, and the fact that we're getting more content. I mean, it really is what we needed, because I feel like Season 1 kind of turned a lot of people off with the game, and it's kind of understandable looking back at it that Season 1 wasn't as content rich as Season 2, because it was off of the heels of the launch of the game. So I do think that Season 2 is really good, and I hope you guys have been enjoying it. I've been enjoying it, albeit, like I said, there were a couple of pain points, but it seems like the developers have been working on that. But again, I hope I'm mistaken and thinking that the developers are doing this just to make themselves look better. I hope that's not the case, but we've seen this happen in the past with other developers, so I'm not going to put it past, but I would like to assume better, and I would like to assume that the developers are doing this out of genuine love for the community and listening to feedback and stuff like that. But with that being said, guys, my name is Garen Belmont. Once again, Merry Christmas if you guys are whenever you guys are watching this. Enjoy time with your family and friends, and also please stay safe out there. It's cold, and I know some depending on where you live in the United States or wherever you live in the world, the roads might be bad. So please stay safe, be careful, and stay warm out there. But with that being said, guys, my name is Garen Belmont, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.